Consultech, synergizing transformation.
Let me start from the beginning. I'm Harish Mittal. So business was in my blood. As the name says it, Mittal. We come from a business community, and the entrepreneurship is like given to us as a gripe water. 30 years I have been in manufacturing apparel. Why after 35 years? What changed? So yeah, that's where lies the trigger. E-commerce brought that to a significant level field. Online purchase made it possible for smaller brands to go online, go to the market without having to invest in a large distribution network. So, well, the entire exercise of development of a new brand, the positioning, the design, the definition of the brand, what is the DNA, all that we did spend a lot of time devising. And this has been happening right through the years of pandemic. That inspired the idea that why can't we bring in the same comfort that goes into these specialized clothing? Why can't we bring in that technology into workwear? It's a state of mind which is used by different animals in a particular, in kind of carrying out long duration tasks with minimum amount of effort. So it's like kind of automating your brain. What you do for the network is also very important. I'll say that the target. But right now, if you ask me what is the dream, I would say that Slowave should be one brand which is available across a larger part of the Asia beyond India, where we find Slowave stores across major cities like Singapore and Dubai and others. And
Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and MD of STROTA Consultech. And we have been driving this initiative called as HATKE interviews for last more than 4 years. Started in pandemic, and now we are moving the focus towards future innovation and creativity, where we are talking to various individuals who have that innovative approach towards life, towards business, new business models, new startup ideas, new ventures. And we have Harish Mittal with us with an absolutely new innovative approach towards a startup that he has got and a passion that he is pursuing. So, Harishji, welcome to this session.
Namaste, Harishji. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Great. So, as we speak about your startup, Harishji, it's called a Slowave, and name says a lot of things about it, and it is into fashion. It is about apparel, and you've spent more than 30 years with that investment in knowledge, skill, and connect with the market has happened. And now it's so. How do you feel? Where the trigger came that you want to start something, as a new brand or sets of brand, and make a big bang about it?
Well, let me start from the beginning. I'm Harish Mittal, and I'm an MBA from IIM Bangalore. I graduated about 35 years ago, and straight out of the college, I went into business. So business was in my blood. As the name says it, Mittal. We come from a business community, and the entrepreneurship is like given to us as a gripe water. 30 years I have been in manufacturing apparels. So that's been my forte, and that's the industry I have been in since the day I left college, or immediately after when I started my own venture. So apparel manufacturing was the business which we are in. And then after those 35 years of work in apparel manufacturing, we finally decided to launch brands. So you'll obviously ask me, why after 35 years, what changed? So yeah, that's where lies the trigger. There were two changes mainly which happened. The first was the advent of e-commerce. Now you see, I'm in fashion, I'm in apparels, and it's an industry which requires a significant amount of muscle to develop a distribution network, and a significant amount of muscle required to create noise in the market to be visible. So both in terms of networking and money, you need both of them. E-commerce brought that to a significant level field. Online purchase made it possible for smaller brands to go online, go to the market without having to invest in a large distribution network. Because one store One marketplace was enough to start with. At the same time, on the marketing or the promotional exercise, e-commerce also brought in a set of new customers and brought in a set of new rules. So it was possible, and it is possible, for a newcomer to make a beginning without large investments. So that's what made it possible for us, number one. And number two, pandemic. Now, pandemic happened, we started working from home, we started working in practically nightwear. So that's when pandemic ended, it became very difficult for a lot of us to go back to wearing formal official clothes. In fact, I myself experienced that. And that's where was born Slowave. Slowave is the kind of clothing which is as comfortable as a nightwear, yet you can go to work in a nutshell. So that's the genesis of Slowave. Of course, there's a story behind the name, Slowave, etc. But I can get into that whenever you ask me.
Right, right. But it's amazing, right? I mean, the ecosystem itself, where a challenge like a pandemic, where situation goes worst, has given rise to opportunity for individuals to start buying online, and also, crush the whole cost of investment required for building the complete channel, sales channel, and also getting into this habit of wearing, we tend to wear whatever in front of the camera, right? And we would like to definitely continue because we are comfortable with it. And the same lifestyle you will see also in Western countries, which slowly has seeped into us in this form. I believe that's amazing where you could leverage the changes in the ecosystem for your own benefit for this startup. That's amazing. But there has to be this enthusiasm uh, and also a huge amount of power that is required to launch such kind of a large brand, right? I mean, you were just saying it is the cost is reduced. I mean, it's just a saying, but all this complication that remains, right? The product detailing, the way that you want to. So, how do you differentiate this brand, Slow Wave, as it moves into the market?
So, well, the entire exercise of development of a new brand, the positioning, the design, the definition of the brand, what is the DNA, all that we did spend a lot of time devising. And this has been happening right through the years of pandemic, because what happened was pandemic forced us to wear what we find most comfortable. In fact, what I did personally was I picked up a small section of my wardrobe, which was primarily clothes which I used to wear when traveling. So these are the clothes which required minimum maintenance. They were most comfortable. They were stretch material and stuff like that. I started wearing them to office. And that inspired the idea that why can't we bring in the same comfort that goes into these specialized clothing? A prime example of which is athleisure, the clothing which you wear for workout, for playing. They are extremely comfortable, stretchy, etc., etc. Why can't we bring in that technology into workwear? So that's where the genesis of Slowave. Of course, like you said, it requires a lot of effort to work around. We have a huge number of products to be developed before we select one, and it has to match with the principles of Slowave, which are it has to be comfortable, it has to be easy to maintain, and it has to be versatile. It should be a pair of clothing which you can get into and wear around the clock. So all these are kind of DNAs of the brand. In fact, if I tell you the definition of the name Slowave, that will define the brand to you. Slowave is actually a state of mind.
Oh,
Uh, it's a state of mind which is used by different animals in a particular in kind of carrying out long duration tasks with minimum
oh,
amount of effort. So it's like kind of automating your brain to work. So that, like for instance, the migratory birds, when they travel from Siberia to India, they get into slow wave mode and fly. So they expend minimum amount of effort while flying. Same thing with fish when they migrate from ocean to ocean, continent to continent. They use that mindset. So that's called slow wave. I'm putting this in a simple language which I can also understand. There's a scientific explanation behind it. So that's the Slowave,
Nice.
the kind of mindset we want to bring into our clothing. That we can do all our work with minimal amount of bother about what we're wearing. The clothes should be kind of second skin to us. That's the idea behind Slowave. And of course, like you said, we have put in a lot of effort. We have come out with a range which encompasses entire menswear at the moment. We are adding more to it. We'll be launching women's wear in a year's time. So there's a lot of works in plan.
Superb. I think talking about aspect of digitalization of the whole branding exercise and leveraging the online systems. I believe this brand is already there on online systems as a presence, and you are trying to look at also physical presence, right?
Yes. So as a digital first brand, we have launched our own website, which is slowave.in. Plus, we are present on all the premium marketplaces,
Mhm.
Myntra, Agio, Tata Click, Amazon, Flipkart, and so forth. So we are there all over in the digital space. We also want to open offline stores. It's not like we do believe in the digital marketplace. We do believe in the online marketplace, but at the same time, clothing being clothing, it's a very touch and feel. Now, all the things that I talk about, the clothes have to be that comfortable that you can wear them around the clock. Now, you can't get that comfort from a photograph. So online, I can only show you a photograph. So ultimately, the comfort that you will get, or you will be able to feel that comfort only when you touch. So that touch and feel becomes very, very important to apparel. And that's why we want to open some offline stores, which will be primarily experience stores, where you can come and experience the kind of clothing that we are making.
It's amazing, where a pandemic has taught us to be remote, ability to work remotely, connect with remotely, video conferencing and all that stuff. There are a lot of websites also showing where you can have your dummy and you can make it wear some of the clothes or ornaments or whatever. But still, that Merawala blue, there are Merawala touch is a key to success, right?
Absolutely. देखिए blue तो I can still possibly simulate to a large extent online as well. But the softness of a fabric which is as good as a butter, a muslin fabric, if you can imagine. Now, unless I tell
Uh,
you muslin and you're familiar with muslin, you will not be able to experience that. The only other way to experience is by touching it.
uh,
Now, I'm talking about the bamboo fabric which we use in some of our t-shirts. It's as soft as that muslin. And we actually describe it as a butter soft. But even if I tell you it's butter soft, for you to imagine that buttery softness, unless you have experienced it before, is impossible.
Amazing, amazing. Being a fan of apparels myself, I'm just kind of amazed with the kind of variety that you have. And we were discussing, right? One of your friends you happen to meet, and you have been a big activist. We'll come to the networking part later, where you are heading one of the organizations for I am Bangalore alumni, and so great and great congratulations for that. But one of the friends was where you met, and you found him to be having a large variety of Slowave, and that was a great recognition.
It was quite a coincidence. Actually, I met this gentleman at an event whom I know kind of as an acquaintance, and he was wearing a slow wave shirt. So he instantly actually came up to me and said, Harish, I'm wearing your shirt. So I said, hey, thank you. I'm glad that you like it. He said, don't worry. I not just like it. I only wear slow wave shirts. So I said, wow, I mean, that's a statement. I mean, I really appreciate it. And then I came back and checked our records by his name. Because online selling means we have everybody's name, whoever has bought. So it's easy to track that. So I went back and checked on which all clothing he had bought. And I realized that he had bought almost each and every shirt that we have in our range. And that too over the months. It's not like he bought all of them at go. He's been buying one, two every month. So it's phenomenal to have such endorsement of a repeat purchase. And somebody
It's
saying that I
awesome
listen
for
to
a
them.
start. Absolutely, for a startup to establish the brand, to be making it known, and irrespective or without your intervention and highlight to that person, he is able to relate to it and get those bought. It is amazing. I think it's a great feeling that you would be having
Oh, yes.
inside you.
It makes us believe that what we are doing is right. It's at
Exactly.
least hitting some nerve somewhere.
Right. Whenever we talk about entrepreneurship startups, looks very rosy whenever we speak to the founder member, and smilingly he or she tells that, okay, it was easy, we did this, that, that. But there will be challenges, right? I mean, when it comes to your perseverance, your tenacity, your acid test. So, did you find some kind of moments of acid test for you? Anytime during this time or earlier?
Sureshji, I've been an entrepreneur 35 years. So one thing I tell everybody is that the entrepreneur's life is perennially under the sword. And and that's what keeps us going. You asked me why are you so enthusiastic. You asked me sometime earlier also that where do you get this energy? I think that sword is what gives us the energy. And people may not put it as a sword. They may put it as very different words, different people. But I literally put it as a sword because we have a responsibility to a large set of stakeholders to whom we are answerable. And with an entrepreneur, the buck stops with me. So there is nobody I can answer except myself. So when
Wow.
I have to take care of X number of people, be they investors, be they my team members, be they my buyers, be they my customers, they are a set of people or to whom you are ultimately answerable, and that's what keeps me going, keeps me young, and that's
Mm.
what brings the energy to do it, everything in business and outside.
Solid. You actually outlined a very unique property of entrepreneur. Uh, that buck stops at me, right? I don't need to escalate it to anybody or say that because of that or because of this. It is me, and I will solve it. So I think I just love it, the way that you outlined it. Now, taking it further to the second brand, I believe another one which is Don-Vino
That's right, sir.
is another baby brand that you have. Not baby brand, but another brand that eventually is getting born or already in the market. So, what's so much different in that?
So, well, that's a baby brand, still a baby brand. It has shown tremendous potential. It has shown a complete resonance with the customers and good product market fit. So, on all those counts, it ticks on, but still a baby brand. Don Vino, as the name specifies, is a man of substance. The Don, the boss of wine. So, the guy who loves good things in life. But wine is also one of the most economic alcoholic drinks, if you
Hmm.
notice. So it is for a person who knows what he wants, is sophisticated, but he's going to spend the right amount of money, not a lot of money. So our product in Don Vino is a high quality product at a very, very affordable price. That's
Okay.
the premise of Don Vino. And we come from manufacturing, so we know how to make that good product at a good price. And that is the experience of 35 years we are distilling into this brand called Don Vino.
Super.
So it has a large range of men's formal casual shirts, which is the largest selling article across all apparel in any case. And here we are talking about value. So we are not experimenting with new materials here. We are, of course, bringing in new materials, but then they have to be affordable, they have to be smart. And of course, the manufacturing quality, etc., is what we have got. We have been making for the leading brands of the world, including the top brands of India, the names, the who's who of top Indian brands we have been making, and the same factory makes this shirt. So it's a wonderful product at an affordable price. That's the premise of Don Vino, the man of
I
style.
think, yeah. I sense another characteristic in Sanskrit. It is called as Swayambhu, right? Whatever I will create it for myself, and I will create in the way that I want. And Lord Shiva typically creates or destroys the things, right? I mean, I get a sense that those are the brands created by you in your own way to take its own course, and you would see them moving forward, right?
Totally. I come from the land of Swayambhunath, by the way. I come
Uh-huh.
from Nepal, so I guess there is some kind of heritage here.
Okay, wonderful. Moving forward, it's great. See, I'm coming to another part, which is a unique thing, which is network is net worth, right? Where meeting with friends, relatives, and the power of being connected, and hence multiplying those relationships. You are actually heading a large organization in IIM Bangalore alumni. Uh, so, can you just elaborate how important is and why it is important to have a network uh, as a strength that one should possess as an entrepreneur?
Well, to be very honest, I've never really sought to develop a network for the sake of developing a network. It has always been a byproduct of a passion, of an interest. So I have a very large set of friends from my college, from my life beyond college, and I'm in touch with lots of people in that way. Similarly, I got involved with my alumni association, and it became a matter of passion. And I've been working with Alumni Association of IIM Bangalore, which is called IMBA in short, for the last 10, 12 years. Yeah, about 12 years to be precise. And over the last 4 years, I've been heading it as the president of the
Wow.
association. So I have been working with it in various forums, creating new properties, taking the alumni association to different heights, creating new chapters. So that work has been a tremendous journey, and there have been so many alums who have come, joined hands, and are working together, and that makes it a complete, like you said, networking. So this is not, it's not network seeking the network. It's the network resulting out of a passion. And this network is a tremendous network. I mean, all networks are great. Even if you don't seek out any favor from the network, they open doors for you. So you need some support. You find them within your community, within your network, as you call it. So network always helps. Yet at the same time, um, what you do for the network is also very important.
Amazing. I think it's a sense of give back, being connected, being in a network, and multiplying happiness is could be a way. And happiness could be in the form of food, happiness could be in the form of clothes, or business getting exchange, and a lot of things. Travel could happen simultaneously. I think great about that. Now, asking about these two brands, and you definitely have some targets, set, a kind of dreams. Close your eyes and you would have dreams for each one of these brands. What do you think that they should become? One thing that will happen that it should become largest in the world or something of that sort.
Well, I don't need to close my eyes to dream. I dream with my eyes open. And yes, I wouldn't say largest in the world. I mean, that's a very, very lofty target. I mean, maybe 5 years down the line, I'll discuss with you again, and maybe I'll say that the target. But right now, if you ask me what is the dream, I would say that Slowave should be one brand which is available across a larger part of the Asia beyond India,
Mm, mm.
where we find slow wave stores across major cities like Singapore and Dubai and others, and Hong Kong. And maybe, who knows, next step could be the other continents. That's the kind of a growth plan that I envisage for Slowave, and Slowave becoming a complete lifestyle brand with it, not just apparel, but with accessories, with let's say footwear, with bags and everything that a man or a woman needs to carry with him or her when they go to work, when they're traveling. So it should become a complete lifestyle brand which conveys that philosophy of being comfortable while you execute your work, being comfortable while you live your life. That would be the goal with Slowave. With Don-Vino, it's a very different goal again. Don-Vino, I would like it to be the kind of the first port of call for any young person who wants to buy a set of clothing. Oh yeah, let me go to Don-Vino. I know I'll get a great product, good price. That's it. Maybe for specific occasions that the Don-Vino will continue to cater to, but a large part of the day should be taken care of that. That's the objective with Don-Vino.
Superb, amazing. Coming to almost the closure section, but what is that? You would have some inspiration and aspirational brands in the world, but that is there. Do you have any kind of individual sets of individual who inspire you or inspired you during the course of time, and you look up to them for their tenacity, their abilities. Do you have somebody like that?
And there would be a host of people. I mean, you
Lot.
pick up, great leadership styles, great values from various people. If you look at, right from Abraham Lincoln to Mahatma Gandhi to the inspirational leaders, Dalai Lama, and
Mm,
even if you talk about celebrities, Roger Federer and his tenacity, Amitabh Bachchan and his perseverance to be a superstar even at the age of close to 75 or whatever he is
mm,
today.
mm,
And
mm.
Ranveer Singh, I mean, never say never say no attitude. I mean, he will do whatever he feels like doing. So there's a
Wow.
lot to learn from everybody. It's very difficult for me to pinpoint one person,
Understood.
but if you ask me one person, possibly the hero that stands out is Einstein. He's
Einstein. Oh.
I mean, that's a different level. He used his mind, he used his brain um, at a very different level,
Mm,
and at a level at which he's possibly even ahead of, while he is a hero of the past, he's still ahead of our times today.
mm, mm.
Scientists 50 years hence will still be struggling to understand him fully.
Amazing. So maybe a last question, but about anybody as entrepreneur, there are sets of entrepreneur trying to venture out, maybe beginners, maybe trying to make themselves getting into the groove. But any messages that you have for them to be careful, to be doing, to be following, not following, any kind of message for them?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I can only cite from my own example, and what I find are is there in me and what is not there in me. So I'm going to cite
Mm,
both of them and tell you. Um, One, you need to have passion. You need to be passionate about what you're doing. Doing it for the sake of doing is not going to help you. So you need to believe in what you're doing. You need to be passionate about it. It should resonate with you.
mm.
Then only become an entrepreneur in that particular field or with that particular idea, which inspires you. That's first, the passion. The second would be preparedness. And this is something where I can tell you very frankly, even I find myself lacking it a lot of times. We need to be prepared completely. We need to do enough amount of research and prepare ourselves thoroughly as to what we are going to do, what does it require in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of resources, in terms of everything. We need to be completely prepared with what is required, because otherwise, and then be prepared for surprises. The surprises will be there. If our preparation itself is short, then those surprises will magnify. So preparedness is very, very important. And the third thing, I'll stick with another P. So after the passion and the preparedness, third thing will be perseverance. No journey is complete in day one, year one. You will have to persevere, change your routes, change your thoughts as you go along. But you have to continue to persevere. Otherwise, it's not going to get you anywhere. Best of the ideas, they lose out because somebody didn't have the courage to pursue them to the end.
Right, right. Awesome. I think 3P absolutely rightly mentioned about passion, perseverance, and I believe
Preparedness.
preparedness.
So
Wonderful.
passion, preparedness, and perseverance.
And perseverance. Amazing. And actually, it's about, people say that at least 1,000 days is where your business should survive or anything to be survived. Then you call it as, done, where it will start rolling on its own. And it's just lived the kind of difficult times to be, eventually rolling on its own. So great, a nice interaction and a lot of insightful details that you gave. Not only about yourself, your insights about thought processes behind why you're thinking what you're thinking, but also two brands which actually we all wish that they will rise to their deserved heights as you are desiring. And so all the best from our side for those two brands and you for keeping what you're doing and the way that you're smiling and full of energy.
Thank
all
you.
of our best wishes for you.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure talking to you.
Thank
And
you so much.
last
And
comment I
we'll
would
keep in touch.
say, last comment I would say is that you rightly said that we need to give everything new 1,000 days. But the reality is that today's generation, with the mindset or expectation of instant gratification, they would be hard pressed to wait for 100 days. So that's the gap we have to cover, 100 to 1,000.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Harish, and we'll keep interacting and we'll have next session once we get to the next level. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Truth Consultech, synergizing transformation.